This next story comes to us from Anonymous She-Her.
Anonymous.
Hi, Sarah and Josh.
Hello.
I can't tell you how much I love APWSTR and how much listening to your jokes and advice has helped me through a tough couple of weeks.
Oh, I'm glad.
Thank you. So I thought I would send in my own story to you as well. Edit after the fact. Holy poop, I just realized I wrote 3.5 pages. I'm so sorry for the length. All right, everyone, buckle the fuck up.
We got to do this in 30 minutes.
Yeah, we have 30. Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Christ. My 29 female coworker, 38 male, has caused me a lot of stress because he has not respected my boundaries, and especially in the past couple of weeks, I have continued to struggle more and more with this. The tension began about 18 months ago when I was newish at my job. I had been at this job for about 6 months, but I was newly sharing an office with this coworker for about 2 weeks. During that time, we chatted throughout the day and seemed to get along as friends. He knew that I was dating because I had made a comment about being stood up the previous weekend, to which he replied, "Oh, I know how you feel. I just went through a talk about how our lives were going in different directions. It seemed like he could understand what I was going through, given dating was not treating him well either. After 2 weeks had passed, my coworker told me that he was interested in me and wanted to take me to dinner. In general, I am not against coworkers dating as long as one of them is not a supervisor over the other." You wrote this 8 months ago. We read this at the best time.
Crazy. Awesome.
But I wanted to avoid any awkwardness that could arise if dating did not work out, so I told my coworker that I thought going on a date after only 2 weeks of speaking was too soon.
Smart.
I told him that I would be fine to socialize with him outside of work as friends, thinking that if something more developed over time, I might be open to that. He was enthusiastic about this, and we made plans for dinner. As the evening got closer, he reached out and asked if he could drive me to the restaurant, which I thought nothing of and said that was fine.
Okay.
At dinner, he paid for the bill while I was at the restaurant, at which point I felt a little less comfortable because now that he had picked me up and paid, it was seeming more like a date. But I justified that too as him just being nice. We had gone to dinner early and wanted to keep talking, but given the pandemic, decided it would be better to hang out at my house rather than get a cocktail at the bar. We talked for several hours, and all throughout the night, he kept bringing up the conversation back to how excited he was about me. Some of his comments were that I was the most amazing person he had ever met, that he was impressed by how well adjusted I am, that I was so interesting, etc. This isn't written, but this is like, you're so mature for your age vibes, because I think the age gap is like almost 10 years.
Oh, really? Oh,
I think so. Yeah, it's what?
I just think in general,
29 and 38.
If I have told a man this is not a date and he comes up to my house
and
keeps telling me about how amazing I am, I'm just weirded out.
Eventually, he asked if he could kiss me. Going into the night, I was not planning for that to happen, but given he was so enthusiastic about me and I was feeling a genuine connection, I did kiss him.
Okay.
From there, he continued to talk about how great I was and then about how he, quote, wanted to make me feel good. I tried to casually play this off. There's no way to... You're getting love bombed so fucking hard. Jesus. And I reminded him that we had plenty of time for a relationship to develop if things naturally went that way, and there was no need to rush into being physical. It's hard to explain his energy at the time, but he was practically glowing with how excited he was just to be spending time with me.
Ew.
After several more hours, it was hard to feel any kind of reservations about this guy because he was gassing me up so much. I decided in the moment that there was a strong connection, that he liked me so much. It just made sense to follow that feeling, so we were intimate. He stayed at my house for a few more hours after that, so at this point we had been hanging out from about 6 p.m. to 5 a.m.
Oh my God.
Randomly, he decided that it was the time that he needed to go home, saying he thought he should get some sleep at home. I thought that was a little weird since he had already stayed as long as he had not to sleep at my house until the morning, but maybe he planned to sleep in late and just thought it better to go ahead and take off. Not 15 minutes after he left, I got several texts from his phone stating, quote, "This is coworker's girlfriend who, quote, coworker didn't tell you about." I remember my heart absolutely sunk and I saw no point in addressing any of this with his girlfriend or him, so I just turned my phone over and tried to go back to sleep. Jesus.
Okay.
The next morning I got a text from the coworker which I thought was going to be an apology, but it really wasn't. He wasn't reaching out to justify his actions. He said that he and his girl were not actually using the terms boyfriend and girlfriend, so he didn't feel the need to tell either of us about the other.
Sure, buddy.
He said that they were drifting apart, but he hadn't summoned the courage to tell her because they didn't have a future together, because he was afraid that would hurt her at the time when she seemed to need his support.
Sure, buddy.
He also said because he knew I was dating, he was afraid that if he, quote, didn't jump at the chance to take me out, I would be with someone else before he had a chance to date me. He insisted that he had strong feelings for me and really wanted to make it work with me. I told him that robbing this girl of a chance to move on and find someone who wants to date her is what hurts her, and staying with her out of pity is not, quote, sparing her feelings.
There you go.
I also told him that by withholding the fact that he had a girlfriend from me was wrong because he had to assume that I would have made a different decision about sleeping with him if I knew the truth. In fact, he didn't just withhold the fact that he had a girlfriend with me.
He fucking lied.
He explicitly stated that he was, quote, drifting apart from someone, knowing I would interpret this to mean he was single.
Indeed, yes.
I told him that this is coercion and is a type of assault, and that he needed to do better with whoever he pursued in the future.
Get him, girl.
Fucking get him.
Get him.
I wish that was the end of the story, but over the next month, the coworker continued to reach out to me to tell me that he knew he made a mistake and that he really was serious about me and was willing to put in the work and to, quote, get things right this time, because he didn't want to get it right the first time.
Yeah,
you know?
he didn't want to put in the work the first time. He just wanted sex.
He made an appointment with a therapist to talk through what issues he had that led to him during this.
Okay.
This is calling me out now.
No, it's not. It's not calling anyone out because he didn't actually do that.
No, yeah, true.
Yeah.
He again seemed very sincere, and I tend to give people the benefit of the doubt. I figured if it really was a mistake and he was trying to do better, and there had seemed to be so much potential between us, that I should pull out to see if his actions matched his promises. They did not. Parentheses, lol.
Lol.
Lol. He kept calling me after each of his weekly therapy appointments to tell me everything they had talked about and how it was opening his eyes to how he can be better for me.
Wow.
This was exhausting for me because it was like I was the second therapist talking him through his trauma.
Nice.
But every time I suggested we meet up in person to spend time together, he said he wasn't ready to take that step and he should focus on therapy.
Very sexy and attractive.
He still hadn't broken up with his girlfriend, saying he was, quote, still trying to find the right words to tell her. After a month of this, I was feeling that he was getting all the benefits of being in a relationship with me without me getting the benefit of being in a relationship with him. It was clear he was stringing two women along to see which one would play out in his favor.
Yeah.
The next time he called me, I made it clear that I no longer wanted to consider a romantic future with him. I no longer wanted to talk over the phone about his therapy, and while I would be professional and civil at work, I didn't want to be his friend. He said he understood this, and I thought all of that was over.
No.
3 months after this, I found an amazing relationship with a different man, and I was thinking now I would be able to put all of this behind me for good.
Hope your man
However,
can fight.
the worst however I've ever had on the show.
Yeah.
The coworker continued to message me through our work's messaging app.
Oh my fucking God.
Or Teams?
Microsoft
Oh my God.
Teams.
So I could not block his number. He would go out of his way to come up to me at work. We were no longer sharing an office to make small talk with me after I told him I only wanted to speak to him if it was necessary for work. He asked me to join him for lunch during the workday, and I always made an excuse not to. At that point, most meetings in the company were virtual, so I was able to avoid him a lot of the time and make it through. But then 4 months ago, we had an in-person company retreat, and I had so much anxiety leading up to it that he would corner me in front of my other coworkers and try to use that to trap me into agreeing to plans with him.
Yep.
I realized that I was so overwhelmed and stressed by the potential that he would do this that I needed to sit him down and reinforce my boundaries. I took him to a park, and as soon as we were sitting somewhere where we could talk, I told him the fact he was continuing to reach out for me for things not related to work and was making me extremely anxious, and I told him, quote, there is no open door for a future relationship with us. I need to know that you know that I want nothing from you. I also told him about how I had a boyfriend now and that we had been dating for 7 months. Thought maybe he would take this opportunity to apologize since he never had before.
Why would you think he would do that?
But instead, he told me that he was sorry that his girlfriend had messaged me and that wish things had played out differently between us. But since they didn't, he only wanted the best things for me. I was so offended by this because I had told him multiple times that the girlfriend messaging me was not the problem. It was the fact that he lied. I was also offended by by saying he wished he had worked out, that he had no respect. I was also offended that by saying he wished we had worked out, he had no respect for my current boyfriend, a man he had known for the past 10 years and who has been nothing but nice to him. I decided it was not worth rehashing all of the things I had told him before, so I basically wished him good luck in therapy, and knowing that I made my point clear, left. After that talk, the message stopped, but his approaches at the office for small talk have not. This has made my anxiety and depression much worse in the past 3 weeks because in that time, our meetings went back to in-person, so he was much harder to avoid. I struggle so much with guilt and thinking that if I just stuck to my original boundaries, I wouldn't have had to deal with any of the stress and manipulation from him. I now know from the support of my friends and my amazing boyfriend that none of this was my fault, and I made my decision based on the version of himself that he presented to me.
Yes.
I now believe that this coworker has narcissistic tendencies as he seemed to have no empathy for me or my girlfriend. And he is also very selfish at work in a number of ways, feeling that his needs should be addressed by supervisors before everyone else's, etc. The silver lining to this story is that my current boyfriend and I have now been together for 1 year and things have been amazing.
That's good.
I'm still so triggered by this coworker though, and I've made a therapy appointment so I can process through things now that I have to tolerate the coworker in person much more. I don't really know what I'm asking what I'm really asking for from this post, but the two of you have got the best way of giving advice and finding humor in tough situations, so I thought I would see what your take is from my situation too. One of my favorite things Sarah has said around episode 93-ish is about a guy who shared a hotel room with a girl and lied about it to his girlfriend was, quote, "You can't play the I'm just stupid card when there are smart guys in the world. The girl is going to realize she can pull a smart guy and just leave." That really resonated with me because I feel like my coworker's excuse that his girlfriend and he weren't using labels. Parentheses, I don't care. She clearly still thought she was his girlfriend, meaning he didn't know what he was doing anything wrong by seeing me at the same time was him playing the quote stupid card. It helps so much to hear you guys talk about that and similar stories, and I always love the podcast. Thank you for all that you do.
Holy shit, I said that? That was awesome.
I do remember that now that person reminded us.
I don't remember that at all. As soon as I say the words, I forget what I just said.
Same.
Yeah.
Not the asshole. That wasn't even an am I the asshole, but
I have so much advice for you, dude.
Sarah,
it's
you
mostly
take the floor.
business advice.
They literally quoted you, so I'm just gonna sit this one out and you have fun. No,
So,
I read the story. I'm done. My job's over.
You need to message him on Microsoft Teams or whatever your work thing is, and you need to tell him, stop fucking talking to me. Maybe not with the fucking in there, but stop talking to me. I do not want to go to lunch with you, and I do not want to talk to you anymore. Please stop. He continues to do that. Go to HR. Tell HR about everything. It's going to be embarrassing, but you got to tell them. Tell them about that. HR should take it seriously because they don't want you to fucking sue the company.
That's true, yeah.
All right?
Get a restraining order.
You know, you could do that, but you do still have to tell him no first, and he still has to continue. You have to document him fucking showing up. So videotape him, take a photo of him, do whatever. Go to your therapist. Tell your therapist, hey, I'm here because this fucking guy gives me so much anxiety. I can barely do my job. Have your therapist write a note. Give it to your HR on like your like an official fucking note about what you're talking about in therapy. That it has caused you like mental harm, so that your HR has documents of you saying to this guy, stop showing up. Stop it. I don't want to talk to you anymore. I'm in a relationship. We had a relationship thing. I didn't want you to talk to me before. I don't want you to talk to me again. Give all the shit to your HR. If they do nothing for it, you now know that you work for a shitty company.
And you need to quit.
That does not protect victims.
Yeah.
You need to find a different job, which sucks ass, but that's how reality is sometimes.
You know?
It sucks fucking shit. That's why we do this podcast, is we try to fucking inform people of their rights as victims. And like the fact that, I mean, and I'm not even talking about like inalienable fucking like American rights. I'm talking about just like basic human rights.
I'm Saul Goodman. Did you know you have rights?
Did you know you have rights?
Constitution says you do.
The Constitution says you do. No, legitimately, like, you should not be treated the way you've been treated. Obviously, this guy's a fucking loser and a manipulator.
Yeah, it's fucking
He's
dweeb,
such
dude.
an idiot and a dweeb. It's he probably has narcissistic tendencies or
100%.
whatever. It doesn't matter. No, what matters is that he's a dick and he's crossed your boundaries, and you should not feel bad that you didn't stick to your boundaries. Manipulative people, that's their one goal, is to get you to loosen on your boundaries.
Yeah.
And he succeeded. That's not your fault.
That's his fucking, he's a piece of shit.
You built the wall and then he smashed your wall. He did the
fucking
crime.
Sledgehammered it, yeah.
It's not a crime to build a wall that can be smashed through, because every wall can.
Yeah.
This always happens. Now, when people say, like, you have to stick to your boundaries, it's a reminder to be like, oh, this guy is trying to test my wall. I have to stick to my boundaries. It's not a, well, if you don't do it, then looks like that's on you. Because that's a fucking shitty thing to say. That's
That is true.
unempathetic.
Yeah, very
That's
shitty.
mean. This guy sucks ass.
Guy fucking sucks. Yeah. Jesus. I don't know. Yeah. What all Sarah said.
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Solved it.
I don't know. I
don't
can't
know.
believe I said that earlier. That's a fucking dope
Yeah.
ass shit that I said.
Fucking get your glasses on and skateboard, Sarah, because you fucking did it. Fucking, you should wear the baseball cap backwards.
Oh, fuck. Dude,
Yeah,
yes.
do it backwards now. I don't know. I'm doing this bit. We don't have that much time. I need to get like a fucking 128 gigabyte SD card for how long these fucking podcasts are going.
Straight up.